Since the last video, I simply downloaded the PDF just for visibility purposes. So here we are at this PowerPoint or PDF shooting news photo assignment 4. The second slide demonstrates the details. Now you have to keep in mind that this course is taught both online and face-to-face or on ground. So the details, the specifications or requirements will be different. But just as a general rule, I'm just going to go over what the basis of this assignment it normally looks like. But we will visit the assignment sheet to get the specifics pertaining to your section or class. Generally, the students are required to shoot for this photo assignment 4 200 new and original photos depicting a hard news story. You say, well, what is hard news? In journalism, we talk about hard news and also soft news. Hard news would include more serious items, maybe items of bankruptcy, crime, weather. Soft news may deal with softer news, maybe a recipe, the Girl Scouts, Easter, things that sort of make us feel good. Sort of sparks that human interest we'll talk about here moving forward also. So again, the fourth photo assignment requires a hard news story being shot, 50 long shots, 50 medium shots in terms of medium range, 50 close-ups, and then 50 perspective. And we've had a general composition assignment before that deals with perspective and also viewpoint. So perspective means that a person may stand high on top of a table or in a chair, or maybe get down low at a child's eye view. So the perspective or viewpoint will be different. And then normally, again, this would vary. The photo blog would include only 60 of your best photographs, 15 for each group, and then we'll move forward. Planning for news coverage. There is something we talk about in journalism referred to as spot news, news of events reported as they occur. For example, a weather storm. Just as it says in the second point, you often don't know when a spot news event will happen. You anticipate what you'll need to do. Again, a weather story or even crime. You definitely know that even if it's spot news, news that happens just out of spontaneity. But one thing that is a general rule is that you'll always need photographs of people to help tell the story, and then also with their identification. The last point here is consider that spot news assignments will usually give you one chance to get the picture. Again, if it's crime, it doesn't happen repeatedly, or that story doesn't continue, but it's happening right now. A weather story, if a catastrophe of some major storm happens, the photographs right now are what's key. Days later, the photographs would not be the same because maybe there's been a cleanup of some sort. Moving on to the third slide. Here's spot news continuing. In journalism, we have what we call news criteria or news values. Maybe you've taken another course and your professor talks about what determines news, newsworthiness. And here are some of those points. One is timeliness. Okay, when you think in terms of hard news and also soft news, these are items or criteria that help to determine what makes news. Timeliness is the event happening in a timely manner right now. Proximity is the second item. Proximity is within the geographic location of the coverage area. So right now I'm on the Troy University's campus in Troy. The proximity within where I am would include Pike County, also the city of Troy, maybe even Dothan. Conflict is the next news value. Here, conflict, you think about a topic where there's always opposition. You think about pro-abortion, anti-abortion, politics. There's always opposition. So some stories, some photo stories are shot because it includes the news value of conflict. The next item is prominence. We think of prominence in terms of there being a prominent person involved in the context of a news story or news photo, or a photo story. Some photographs are only shot because it involves a prominent people. You think about maybe photo stories of Stephen Curry. You think about stories relative to the former President Obama or Donald Trump. And very well, those are stories that definitely make news because they include prominent people. The next two involve currency, human interest, and also bizarre. I'm going to skip to bizarre here before I tackle currency and human interest, because bizarre means that this is something unusual that occurs, which is a very a news value is that it is unusual. So some stories we oftentimes talk about in my editing class. If a dog bites a man, nothing unusual. But if a man bites a dog, highly unusual. We would like to see photographs of that because it's just not normal. And then going back up one is currency and also human interest. You may think about a soldier returning home from war and surprising his third grader at their school, their elementary school. It sparks that human interest angle or feel. And then here we also have currency. There are topics that are always current. For example, unemployment in the United States, taxes. This is actually tax season, are on people's minds. So those are things to consider.